Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 56 of my year-long year of solo board gaming, described by many to be ill-advised and stupid, and definitely starting to feel the pressure of it. I am trying to keep a little bit about a week ahead of where I'm filming, and unfortunately I'm just not cutting it. So I may have to make a decision soon that basically will be, okay, so I'm either going to play 3 games at once, and it's going to be the same game for 3 straight days, or I'm going to cut back to like twice a week. But right now, this is taking up a little too much time, more time than I was hoping. It is also possible I might just start doing the videos and putting them straight up instead of putting a title screen on as well as captions, because I'm really not sure if that is really that beneficial. The whole idea is not to produce necessarily videos that you're watching all the way through, but more videos just simply to get the video production up there and get the volume count up, which is a little. But we're playing the solo mode. We have the European expansion and also the Oceanic expansion. We have both of those in place. So we have Nectar in this game. We've got everything set up for the solo game. We've got our. I'm going to keep the food goals, the round goals here. All the solo stuff here, and I'll do all of my other stuff here. So I should be visible. Is it? I have no idea. Honestly. So we're at the start of the game. We have the 5 cards that we can choose from, as well as 2 goals. Now, we have, as one goal, we have Prairie Manager, birds that can only live in this middle area here, this yellow area. And what I'm worried about is that if you get 2 to 3 birds, you'll get 3 points. 4 more birds, it's 8 points. That's pretty much it. This is a little bit easier to get. It's not worth quite as many points. But looking at our starting hand, we do have three cards that count as that automatically. So it feels to me like a good way to start. And this may not have a lot of cards overall. It's certainly nothing up here is looking like it's going to be friendly to that. So I think I'm going to go with this. I think this is probably my best bet. It is going to require six birds. Got a lot of eggs. So that's the plus. So I'm going to put this one to the side. We're going to go with Platform Builder as our goal. We'll put that right there. And then we're going to keep, as far as our hand goes, we're going to not keep either of these two, since neither of those really work towards our goal. We will keep, I think we're going to get rid of this one. I don't like this one. It does have at least the minimal cost to play. Maybe we'll keep these 3. So looking at the things that we need, we're going to need fish, rat, and grass. Fish, rat, and worm. We don't need either of these. We do still have to give up one more, though, and I think what we'll do is we'll give up this fish. And we'll keep these. This will be our starting food supply, our starting hand, and we get to go first. And we have 8 turns on our first round here. The first thing that we're going to do is, obviously, we're just going to play a card. I think what we're going to do is we'll play... we'll go ahead and play this to here. I think that's my best bet. We're going to give up these back to the supply. And that moves over here. And that's it. That's all we do. We're going to flip over here. We're on round 1. It's going to take away a token from here, which it does not already have. And it's going to get an egg. So it's quick marching towards the eggs already. My turn is next. I have one thing here that I'm going to go ahead and spend. I'm going to go ahead and start here. Put the common buzzard here. I'm not going to activate its ability. And we'll put that nectar there because we spent it. And then that's it for that turn. Automata goes first. It takes away another cube. This is not good because when it does this, when it's like this, it means that I'm going to get a whole bunch of cubes later on, and it's going to end up really being bad. So it is looking for things with eggs in the nest. And I think it gets to count as stars. So it's going to take this too, which is not bad. We're playing on easy mode. It's going to be 3. for everything. But that means instead of 3 for a down-facing card, it actually takes a 2, which is not bad. It does clear out any cards like that. So if there were 2 cards up there like that, it would take the higher scoring one, and you just discard the other one. We now have... It's actually a really nice one to have, because that is also going to be one of the nests that we need. The American Coot is also a good one. I think what we want to do, though, since we don't really have that much else right now to work with, we're going to go ahead and grab some food. We're going to get 2 food out of here. We could use something to re-roll everything in here, but we don't really have that anything to work with. We're going to go ahead and take that for the thingy. And then we also need a fish, so we'll go ahead and take that fish. We could have honestly taken anything. If there was another pink thing in there, nectar in there, I would have taken that as well. So it doesn't activate anything here for the common buzzard, but does end up here. We flip over the Automata card. Pink powers activate. Unfortunately, I don't have any. And now it will take all of these out, and now we're left with 1 in there. I can now finally play this card, so I'll go ahead and do that. That'll go over here, and we'll play that nectar there, and fish there. Now out of cards, and I'm out of everything. I'm out of time. I'm out of Africa. I'm out to lunch. Everything. It's going to get an egg. I do have the the Automata in here. The Automaton Society, I think that's what it's called. It's a really nasty one where basically it gets a face up plus a block to put up on its thing. Our next best bet is to go here. We're going to go with 2 eggs. Get 2 eggs here. We're going to place those, I think, on here. Looking ahead, I don't have anything that really matters as far as egg placement goes. We're going to get to roll all dice not in the bird feeder. And if any are rats, we get a rat to cash on the owl. However, none were rats. So that's a fun thing. Yay. Awesome. Flip that. It's going to go to the feeder this time because there's only 1 dice left in the feeder. There's only 1 type of food left in the feeder. We're going to go ahead and roll these. We'll use the special dice tower here. I am not a fan of, actually. And it gets a rat to pull out. So we'll pull the rat out. We would also activate any pink powers, but we don't have any. We'll go ahead and grab some cards now. And we'll go ahead and grab these 2. These are 2 really good cards. I would like to get those. We can now discard a fish to tuck 2 cards from the deck behind this bird. Unfortunately, we have no fish. We have nothing. Probably would have been better to feed first, but we've already made that decision. So let's see. It is now going to go with... Oops, that card's upside down. Now it's going to put a block on there. And it's going to take an egg. So it's up to 3 eggs. Now we're going to go ahead and get some more, get some food here. We'll go ahead and take a fish and a feather. Fish and a feather. All right, and then we don't do anything else that round. We've only got 1 more turn left, so we don't want to bother with any more pink. I forgot to replace these up here, so that was stupid. So it's looking for eggs. It's got 1 eggs up here, so it'll take that 3. So it doesn't really make a difference. It's not going to kill us in terms of point totals. Let's see. We're going to get 1 more of these. We can't play anything, unfortunately. I don't... Well, technically we could play this. Is it worth it to play this? Or do we want to grab more food? I'm going to go ahead and play this. I think I'm going to play the additional thing here. Now we're going to give up in terms of food cost 1 corn, 1 feather, 1 fish, but we also have to give up an egg, so we lose an egg out of there. And that is the end of my round 1. It loses off of there. Plus it gets a face down card. That means all of these get discarded. It takes a face down card. And we replace the cards up here. And which is stupid because we're then going to replace the cards immediately at the end. So we're at the end of the round. We draw 1 more card and place it up here. If it's got nectar in the box, if it's got a blue square here, we're going to add nectar to it. If it had a negative, we would take away nectar. And unfortunately, this is also the round 1 card, so it didn't really help us at all. We now take a look at the goals that we met. Its total number of mice and fish is 0. It won't actually place them as a result, so we're not going to put any sort of cube up there. In my case, my food and fish total is a whopping 3, which is enough to get first place. So one of my green cubes is going to go on here. One of its red cubes will go on the 0 spot. So neener, neener, neener. That's one of the rare times I've ever actually just flat out beaten the Automata at a category. It helps that it's like that. So now we're going to be on round 2. So we're going to flip this like so. We're also going to check to see what the 2 is. Round 2 total is for them. Their birds in yellow is 1. Is that right? Yeah, birds in yellow is 1. So that means they'll start off with a score of 1 here, and it's my goal to try to get at least more than 1. And then obviously they'll benefit from having some additional things there. Plus, at the end of the round, we get rid of all of these. I should really just turn this around. And we're going to take all our cubes back. So I think the first thing that we need to do is we actually need to get some food. So we'll go ahead and go here. Because it's only fish left in here, I get to re-roll. Okay, so I'm definitely grabbing the nectar. And I'm also going to grab a rat. And then this will go here and over here. Next up, this will get to play a cube to this category. So now it's got 2 in there. Plus it'll take from the supply. It'll take the 1 rat that's remaining. I'm now going to play Ferruginous Hawk, which is going to leave a nectar there. Plus we'll use that other egg. And that will move over here. Not doing great in terms of resources. I don't have a lot of resources. I have no resources at all, actually. So I'm now going to start building up some resources as well. I think what I want to do is I actually want to go for food first. I want to get one of these fish. And then I'll re-roll. Now, I actually wanted the fish because I can use this, kick in this ability in round 2 better than I did in round 1. Ugh. All right, without really knowing what it is I want, I'm kind of stymied here. I guess I'll go for the worm. The worm's probably the best thing to go with. All right, and then that's not going to kick in any additional ability. It's going to get 1 more cube here, so now it's back up to 2. It's also going to get 2 more eggs. It builds up a lot of eggs really quick. We're going to go ahead and get some cards now. So it doesn't really matter what this first one is. That we can take from here or we can take from here. We'll go ahead and take this 5 as a defensive measure. And we'll take 1 off the deck here. I don't want it to take that 5 and get it for its hand. We'll put 1 more here. When activated, tuck a card from your hand behind this bird. Now, is this a good bird? Probably not. I'm going to put that down here. If you do, draw 1 card. So we've drawn a card. We're going to go ahead and be able to now discard a fish to tuck 2 cards from the deck behind this card. That's kind of what I was hoping for when I got this card. We'd get a lot of nice cards under there. I'd be lucky if I get a couple. And then that's it for my turn. It's going to get a face-up card, which, according to what it's got, there's nothing here that matches. So it will take a down-hand card, a down-facing card. I'm going to go ahead and get some egg, get some more food, I think. Now that I know what it is I need, I'm going to take at least 1 feather. And I guess I'll take the fish as well. I don't activate any ability. It will now add another cube, and it's going to reset the feeder, take a down card, And then we're going to put some new cards out. We're going to go ahead and get some eggs now, because we kind of need some eggs. That's 2 eggs. I could trade in one more card for another egg. I don't think I'm going to. Roll all dice not in the bird feeder. And both of these have the same thing, so both of these are going to get the same ability. No rats whatsoever. And then again, no rats whatsoever. All right, 3 times now come up with no rats. Flip this over. It's going to get a down card, so it'll replace all these again. It'll get another card here, face down. Shouldn't have looked at it. We'll get a bunch more face up. Now I can choose to play a card I'll play out here. It's still only 1 egg to play it. I'll play this here. We'll lose a feather in the process. When activated, lay a feather, blah, blah, blah. An egg on that. But the rest of this just goes over here. We still got 1 card here that we could play. This will go to the bird feeder and it will remove the rat. We'll flip over 1 more. And it will lose a nectar here. It will gain a nectar here. And it will gain a nectar here. That was a little nasty. We're now going to take out the round 2 card. And shuffle this all up. We'll also flip this so it's on round 3. Our next goal is going to be brown powers. And right now we're at 5. We did actually beat it, I think, because it was at... Nope, we tied, actually. I'm sorry. It was at 3. We were at 3, so we're going to tie that. It had 1 plus 2 cubes. It's a little bit of a bummer. All right. So place all these. And we get a bunch of new cards up here. So it's going to have that as its card that it gets, which is not great. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for more eggs now. Brown power. Oh, yeah, we should probably check to see what the brown power total is. So we'll look at this. 4. We're at 5. So we're going to go all the way out here. We're going to get 2 eggs. We'll go ahead and load up. Let's go this one and this one. This gets activated. We get 1 egg for this card. We're now going to roll 4 dice to see if we get any rats at all. We've not gotten any rats. Got 1 rat. All we need is 1 rat. We don't need multiple rats. Now activate it again. No rats. This is insane. Round 3, it's going to start with re-rolling everything that's in the bird feeder because it is that. And we would activate pink powers if we had any, but we don't. Its choice is going to be fish first, then rats, then this cherry. That's the only thing that it's going to get. We're going to go ahead and take some stuff out of here. We're going to take the nectar. Definitely going to take the nectar. And then I kind of like to take one of these feathers. Because I'd like to get this Stellar's Jay hatched. We're going to flip this. Round 3 is going to put a cube on here. And then it's going to clear this. Take a face down card. And reset the board. Alright. That black swan is not good. That is not good. We're going to go ahead and actually grab cards first. So we're going to grab that. We're going to leave both of those, and I'll go ahead and grab another card from here. Probably should have gone with that. Go ahead and replace that on there. Oh, that great egret. That great egret would have been good. Okay, so tuck a card from your hand behind this bird. we'll go ahead and tuck the European Bee Eater. That's a crappy looking card. And then we draw. We got an American Avocet. Now we're going to go ahead and activate this. We're going to go ahead and discard a fish. That's going to give us 2 more cards to put behind here. That's good. Continue round 3. It's going to, ooh, pulled up the Audubon Society. It's going to add a cube there. It's also going to draw a face-up card, which fortunately for us is going to end up being this Greater Flamingo. We'll go ahead and replace these. We need to play some cards, I think. We need to hatch something. I can hatch... what can I hatch here? I can hatch either the Avocet or the Black Swan. And then I could also do the Stellar J. I can do any of these. And I think what I want is the Stellar's J, because that has the ability on it. So we'll go up here. Let's see, we're going to use up all of these, essentially. And that's going to put another Nectar down here. And then that'll move all the way down here. Next up, we're going to get 1 cube added to it. It's also going to take a face-up bird, which this time is going to hurt me a little bit, because it's going to take that wild card. That'll go up there. We need to get some stuff, so we'll go ahead and get... We'll get the feather. We'll just go ahead and take the worm, because we actually kind of want the worm instead of re-rolling. We can turn in 1 card. So I'm debating whether or not... I think we're going to turn in 1 card. As much as this Black Swan, I would like this Black Swan. At the game end, how many is this going to give me? It's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to give me 5 eggs. I'm trading in this one. I'm definitely trading in this one. And that's going to allow me to take 1 more thing. And this means on my last turn, I'll go ahead and hatch the egg. So if it comes up with a Nectar, which it does, we're going to take the Nectar so we can use that this turn. We don't use Nectar on a given round. We lose it before the round is over. We don't want to do that. So it's going to lose a cube, but it's going to gain 3 eggs. So right now, by the way, it is at 7 and we're at 6. We're not going to be doing any better, so hopefully we can tie. If it loses 1 more cube, that would be nice. But for our last one, oh, I forgot to do that. Gain one feather from the Beard Feeder if available. Yeah, we will take that. We will definitely take that. Actually, let's leave that there and let's take this one. And then that will go there. So our last turn will be to hatch. We need to squander an egg, use a Nectar, lose these, and then this goes all the way over here. And the reason I wanted to do it that way is just, I forget why. I think because that's going to give me like 5 extra points at the end of the game, and that's good. So now, moment of truth. It does lose a cube, so thankfully, thanks for that. It's going to lose all the cards up here. It's going to get a face down. We're going to replace these, and we're just going to replace these again, too. All right, end of the round. So we do 1 more card to figure out how this goes. So round 1, round 2, round 3. So it's going to gain 2 more. Oof, that is a harsh card. And then we're going to shuffle. And I'm getting killed on Nectar. Usually at this point, I've got a lot more Nectar throughout the game. So remove after round 3. And then we'll turn this over, and now it's round 4. Usually I'm doing much, much better. So it had a total of 6 brown. I take that back. It had a total of 5, and I have 6. So I actually won that one. Woohoo! So now it's a little bit more fraught on this last round because you don't really have a whole lot of time to flip anything. So if I get a card, I need to get some cards and some food and some eggs. Like, honestly, there's a little bit of, I feel like I should just do eggs. Just eggs all around. These cards all come out. Go through so many cards in this game. So that'll be there. That'll be there. That'll be there. And how am I doing on my goal here? So I needed 6 birds to get the 7 points. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got my 7. I got my goal. That's awesome. This last one is food cost of your birds in worms. So we'll flip this over. It's going to start with 5. Our food cost in terms of that, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it is just the worms. I could be wrong, which means that we are starting at a huge deficit. We've only got 1. So we're probably going to lose this one. Hunting and fishing powers, card drawing powers, egg laying powers, food gaining powers. None of those are really what I need. I need the goals. I think it might be in the regular one. Yeah, let's go ahead and look in the regular. Sorry for this. You'd think I'd have the game down by now. I've played it enough times. Flocking powers, other powers, egg laying, food gaining, bonuses, end of round goals. I think, did this come with the OE or did this come with... I'm not sure if it came with the European expansion or if it came with the Oceanic expansion or if it came with neither. I think it might have been the European one. I've got some new goals here. Food and supply, bird cards in hand, birds with no eggs. The brown power is one of them. Oh, it's got to be Oceanic expansion because it's got the nectar on it. So I'm sorry, I'm being a dullard. I can't see it in there though. Card drawing. I'm sorry, this is end of round goals. Count the number of food symbols. Do not count wild or... Yeah, so I'm screwed on this one. We might as well just put the pieces in place now. So my goal is to get as many points as I can with what little cards I have. But I do get to go first, and I think... I don't have any food whatsoever, and I don't have any cards, and I don't have any eggs. I think I'm going to go for food. I'm going to go for 1 nectar. And because there's only rats left, I can now reroll. And I'll take the other nectar. Thank you very much. There we go. Now, gain 1 feather from the feeder, if available. There is 1. And that's it for that. It's going to start round 4 by putting a cube out and getting 3 eggs, but we already know that it's going to win in terms of that. There's no point sweating it. It's all about what cards I can get. So we'll go here next. We're going to be able to draw 2 cards. Are there any cards here that will help me out the most? I need to go for relatively low... I like this one because this is a good amount of points, and I think I can... Yeah, I'm going to go this one. Is there anything I can do from a defensive matter? And I don't think there is. So I'm going to also draw this one. That's good, because that doesn't require much food. We'll replace that. Lay 1, that's game end. Tuck a card from your hand behind this bird if you do draw a card. So I think I want to put this away. And then we'll draw a card. go ahead and use one of these and take 2 from the deck and put it behind that bird. So he's got 6 now. So that's the end of that. We'll go ahead and play another card. Ooh, it's the Automata one. Means it gets that, and then we look to see if any of these match. They don't, so it takes a face down bird. We need to play one of this, and I think this is where I run into a problem, because now I can't get this Barrows played. So I think I got to go for some food. I could also play this one instead, but with 3 cards remaining, I would have to do this, play this for food, this for placement, and I'm not going to have enough eggs to do that. Is there anything else I can do? That'll allow me to get an egg. So I think I'm going to do the food first. Oh. I don't have enough eggs. That's the problem. I think I'm in a bad situation. Bad situation. We're going to go ahead and play this there. We'll take the 2 eggs off here. We'll go ahead and spend the 2 of these. And we'll move this down to the end. Not enough time to do what I need to do. It'll take that. We'll look at the top cards here. None of them match its thing, so it'll take that. We need to get some food, or we need to get some cards. One of the two. We have 1 thing remaining and 1 egg out. I think no matter what, I'm not going to be able to use this nectar for what I want. So I think I'm going to go... This is tough. If I go here, I could actually use this on this card. That would at least get it used. Yeah, sorry, I'm just not seeing any way that I can actually make this work. I think I've kind of screwed myself here. We might as well just go for that last piece there. We're not going to worry about the 2 cards here. We're just going to try to get something. So we're going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. We're looking for anything that would be halfway decent here. And I think this, that would be decent, but that's not going to work, unfortunately. 2 cards from the deck. Give 1 to me and 1 to the other player. I'm going to take this one. And I'm assuming that I just discard. Tuck a card from your hand. We'll go ahead and tuck. I think this is probably the one that we want to tuck. Doesn't really matter. We do draw a card. And now this one, discard a fish. We might as well. We're not going to get anywhere with this last one, but then we get 2 more cards behind this deck, and then we'll just focus on getting eggs on the last round. Not a good play on my part. So it loses 1 here. It's going to reset this entire thing. Get 1 more card face down. We're not going to go for, well, we gotta put out another set of 3, unfortunately. There we go. And then last but not least, oh, if it goes for the egg, if it gets an upside down card, it's getting that 6, which blows. We're going to get 2 more eggs here. Try to make sure that we don't overload anything that is greater than 100. Lay 1 egg on this card. And unfortunately, we only have the 2 dice to work from, which does not give me any rats. Does not give me any rats. And fortunately, not a face up. Activate pink powers. We have none. It's going to remove a dice from here. It doesn't really matter what. And finally, for the last one, it's going to add 2 nectar to each of these. Wow, we really got our butts handed to us, I think. But that is that. All right, so now we're at game end. We're going to look at the food cost here. We know flat out it won on food cost. So that's a swap there. Game end, lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a wingspan of over 100 centimeters, plus this one. So that's going to be this 180 centimeter one, the 132, 142, 123. So that's 5 extra eggs. And then finally, we're going to look at scoring. We did not do well. Go ahead and remove this. We did play with the automaton, so that does matter, I guess, a little bit in terms of scoring. All right, so birds, we got 9, 20, 26, 36 points for our birds. It got, let's take a look here. I will look for that in a bit. Okay, so its face-up birds are just 12. It's not bad. Its face-down birds are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it gets 27 on that. It beat me on birds by not much, 39 points. It beat me by 3. Bonus cards. So I got my bonus, so that's an extra 7 points. End of round goals. I got 4. Half of this is 7. I'm not going to count this at all since this was a push. And then this is 4, 10, 14. And then this is just simply 3 and 10, or 3 and 7, so that's 10. For eggs, I have dropped 1 on the floor. This is actually pretty mild for eggs, actually. I feel like maybe I forgot to count them at some point, but I got 13 eggs, which is not a lot for the automata. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Food on cards, I do have 1 food on a card. The 1 rat I got from all the times I rolled those. And then we've got a bunch of cards underneath here, so let me put the eggs away first, so we don't have to worry about those. Where it's going to kill me is the nectar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tucked cards, which is a lot. Finally, on the nectar, it's going to split, basically. It beat me on the top row easily, beat me on the second row pretty easily, and it beat me on the third row pretty easily. So it's going to be 15-6. Let's see how I did. So that's 43, 57, 65, 66, 78, 93. It got 39, 49, 62, 68. I actually... Does that make any sense that I won by that much? I swapped these around, that's why. I swapped these around. I only got 84. And it got 77. So that makes a little bit more sense. I beat it by 7, which I think makes sense because we lost to it on birds by 3. We beat it on bonus cards by 7, so that's a +4. End of round goals, we beat it by 4, so that's +8. We lost on eggs by 5, so we're +3. +1 for the food on card to get +4, +16 with the tuck cards. And then I know this is not making any sense here, but we -9 for the last one to get +7. So we did it. We actually beat the automata on the simplest level possible, because that's the way that I play. Simple. I can't do anything harder. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. This has been great. I will see you next week. We're moving into the spooky again, but no zombies. It's going to be horror, but not zombies, if that makes any sense. So, except for unless there's an incidental zombie in something, which I think there is, because I think one of the games I've got is Arkham that I'm going to be doing. And I think there's some zombies in that, but that's neither here nor there. But we'll see you next week. Ciao.